In the wake of President Donald Trump's recent remarks about the potential for sending U.S. citizens convicted of violent crimes to prison facilities in El Salvador, a complex web of legal, ethical, and geopolitical considerations emerges. The conversation, held with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele, hinted at a controversial proposal that could reshape the landscape of crime and punishment, not just domestically, but on an international scale. Trump's suggestion, which involved the construction of additional facilities in El Salvador to house these individuals, raises immediate questions about the legal framework governing such actions. Historically, deportation has been a tool applied to non-citizens, primarily immigrants who have violated the terms of their residency or engaged in criminal activities. The idea of forcibly sending native-born citizens overseas, regardless of their crimes, fundamentally challenges the principles enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. The Fifth Amendment guarantees due process, and the notion that American citizens could be stripped of their rights and sent to a foreign prison is not only unprecedented, but also likely unconstitutional. The implications of this proposal extend beyond legal concerns. It touches on the very fabric of American identity and the values that underpin the justice system. The idea of punishment has long been a subject of debate, and Trump's remarks seem to suggest a shift towards a more punitive approach, one that mirrors practices in countries where the justice system is often criticized for its harshness. El Salvador's notorious mega-prison, CEQT, is emblematic of this reality. Known for its brutal conditions, the prison has become a symbol of the extreme measures that some governments are willing to take in the name of law and order. The prospect of sending U.S. citizens to such an environment raises ethical questions about the treatment of individuals and the responsibilities of a nation to its citizens, even those who have committed violent crimes. Moreover, the international ramifications of this proposal cannot be overlooked. Under international law, specifically the principle of non-refoulement, countries are prohibited from sending individuals to places where they could face persecution or torture. This raises significant concerns about the treatment of those sent to El Salvador. The country has struggled with issues of violence, corruption, and human rights abuses, and the idea that the U.S. would send its citizens to a facility in such a context is troubling. It suggests a willingness to sidestep ethical considerations in favor of a more draconian approach to crime, which could set a dangerous precedent not only for the U.S., but for how nations interact in matters of justice and human rights. The broader conversations surrounding crime and punishment is also pertinent here. In a global context, the U.S. has often been seen as a leader in advocating for human rights and fair treatment under the law. However, proposals like Trump's challenge this narrative and could lead to a reevaluation of how America is perceived on the world stage. The idea of outsourcing punishment to another country raises questions about sovereignty, justice, and the role of the state in protecting its citizens. As discussions around crime continue to evolve, it is crucial to consider the implications of punitive measures that extend beyond borders. The conversation must address not only the immediate legal challenges posed by such proposals, but also the ethical considerations that arise when a nation contemplates sending its citizens to face punishment in a foreign land. Ultimately, the dialogue surrounding crime and punishment must reflect a commitment to justice that upholds the dignity and rights of all individuals, regardless of their past actions. In a world increasingly interconnected, the ways in which nations choose to handle crime will have lasting impacts, both domestically and internationally.